Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Nathalie Saunderson, and thank you for being here. These practices are very short clips and guidelines to basically help you do either shorter practices in the comfort of your own home, or to start to look a little bit deeper at some of the key themes that you might be encountering after a certain while of practice. So these are to be really practiced at the level that you are currently at physically, mentally, emotionally. And if you do have any requests, questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. If you're somebody who has always been fairly active, and say you're either a runner, you're a swimmer, you're a surfer, you're a biker, anything that has to do with using the lower half of your body a lot, chances are you probably have some tension in your hips, right? From just simple, consistent use. And that can also sometimes lead to compression in your lower back, right? Because that constant impact or that constant pressure downwards, whether you're biking, it can also just be a result of tighter muscles pulling certain elements of your pelvis into kind of new alignment. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being a very physical person has many, many benefits that we know of. However, we need to be careful that, like anything, we don't overdo the ways that we love to be physical, because they can also pull us sometimes out of balance with the needs of our actual body, right? We can start to chase the way we like to feel when we're physical versus what the messages of the body are actually asking for. So when we're doing standing forward folds, loosely speaking, one, we're relying on integrating the strength from the legs to hold us in the balance. And two, when we're folding forward, we're getting this really nice elongation up the back body, but we're also having to use a lot of core. Now the core is also part of the structure that helps our pelvis basically stay in place, right? So the way that the core and the pelvis integrate obviously have a lot to do with the tilt of the pelvis and the function of it itself. So as we are journeying through this flow, I want you to stay curious. Please only extend your pose as far as it feels good, as far as you can stay with the breath. And know that this is one of those aspects of the practice that the more you practice, the further you invite yourself to try different things, to be in the discomfort, to be in the challenge, to be in the resistance, all of the things, right? Not just the really warm and fuzzy aspects of the yoga practice, but maybe the parts that we can spend a bit more time strengthening, lengthening, so that we actually overall have a body that is more open and available to the entire practice itself. Let's dive in. So I've got my blocks at the top of the mat, and if you don't have blocks, then no worries. You can also substitute anything that can act in place of the block. But if you don't have anything that is going to be even in height, then you can always just leave it off to the side. It's nice to feel a little bit of different feedback, specifically though with the quality of the hard block itself, but also the extra height it gives you in your chaturanga. So when we come into our supported plank position, you want to really line the middle fingers up with the edges of the block, right? So your hands aren't turned out, they're not gripping over the edge, they're right in the center. Maybe the thumb and the pinky finger are hanging over, and you're going to step back into your plank position, look underneath, pull your heels forward, and then lengthen your chest. Now you want to lift your hips up, draw your belly button in slightly without rounding your spine. So you're going to take a big breath in here. Exhale it out your nose. Good. Now you're going to inhale up, slightly back, and walk your feet a little closer so that you're not having to press so hard out of the blocks. You're just going to feel the stretch all the way down your arms. You might also have the knees bent if you're a little bit stiff today, and just feel this kind of first forward fold, right? This is a forward fold. It's not going all the way though. Okay, as you inhale, take your shoulders over your wrists. You're going to exhale, step back to plank position. This time you're going to add on, big breath in. Now keeping the elbows pointing straight back, lower halfway down, press strongly through the legs. Inhale, back up. And exhale, press to that shortened version of downward facing dog. Grip with the base of the index. Take a breath here. So it's easy to kind of roll out on the hands. I want you to keep anchoring on the inner hands. Pat of that thumb, pat of the index finger as you come forward on your next breath in. Step back once more, feet or hips distance, heels pressing back as you look forward. Big breath. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, back up. And drop your knees for a moment. I want you to lean back with your toes tucked and really anchor into the fingertips. So I want you to notice when your hands kind of splay out. Okay, as we come forward, you can roll your way up, shoulders over wrists. Then you're going to inhale, lift your tailbone back. So very similar to a cat-cow. It's nice and slow. You're going to come forward. You might even lift, drop the knees, and press your hips back. Round like a wave forward. Just play with a little strength, pulling everything towards each other. Drop the knees, exhale, wave back. Let's do 3 more. Right, no further than the wrists though. Knees come down, tailbone reaches back. Inhale, push down, exhale, tailbone reaches back. Last one. Play with hovering, exhale. Jump forward. Hands can be a little further forward. Hips distance if you like. Otherwise, keep it as it is. Fingers and toes in one line. Okay, now you have the option to lift halfway up. If that's way too much, bring your blocks a little higher. Okay, look forward, big breath in. Exhale, fold. Now as you're folding, I want you to press your thighs back, lean your chest forward, draw your ribs in, press your hands down, and then lengthen your gaze. Take a breath here. Your blocks can be higher if that serves you, if that's easier for you. Breathe in. So you're really feeling the legs work. And exhale, fold. Okay, from this folded position, I want you to lift halfway up. Take your hands onto your waist and come all the way up. Okay, holding your gaze out in front of you. Left leg's going first today. So just circle it 3 times. Really important that you observe what happens in that standing leg as you lift that left leg up. Good. Hold the waist with your palms. Plug the tailbone back. Inhale, lift that left foot as high as it goes. Press through the heel. Shoulders on the back body. Lift the head up as high as you can go. Your foot can be a little lower. You can bend your knee. Big breath in. And you're going to step back to warrior 1. Now back foot is on an angle. You're going to wrap your hips forward. 2 things. You can reach your arms up. Right? You can flow your palms up, palms together. Your choice. Breathe in here. Pulling the right hip back, sinking into the front knee. Shoulders aren't overcrowding the neck. Last one. Good. Exhale, you're going to step to your plank pose with your right foot. Shoulders over the wrists as you inhale. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale over your toes. Now push, push, push through your blocks. Roll your shoulders open, lift your gaze. Exhale, chin to chest. Downward facing dog with the short version. Here's why that left foot that was already turned on an angle is going to turn on an angle again. You're going to press back and lift the right leg. Now, I don't mind if you open up and stack your hip. Take a breath or 2, though, just to focus on that standing leg. Lean to your right hand, lift, and lengthen for 3, 2. Arms are straight, right? You're not kind of wonking off to the side. Your chest is turning to the floor. And 1, you're going to step right between the blocks. Maybe adjust your back foot a little bit and open up to your triangle. Inhale, reach that left arm across the body. We're going to do this a few times. So exhale, wrap your whole body back down to the floor. Okay, so as you reach the arm across the body, you're rolling your chest open. You're also keeping that back hip either one of 2 things. So some people like to roll the hip open. Some people roll the hip in and lengthen the right hip back. You decide what feels better for your anatomy. You're going to do this one more time. Inhale, roll open. Anchor the shoulders down. If you feel really gung-ho today, you're going to reach that left arm overhead. 2 big breaths. Last one. Looking down, take both hands onto even blocks, whatever height. Slide that right foot back and lift into L shape. Okay, so now you've got your work cut out for you here. Press your left heel back, pour your heart forward, come onto fingertips, and if you feel ready, hands to your heart for 3. Fire everything up, pull your ribs in, settle that right hip back. 2, 1. Good, take your hands down, lift onto those right toes as you breathe in. One last hurrah. Step your feet forward. 3 times, inhale, lift. You can also do this with blocks. Exhale, fold, push your heels down and wide. Inhale. So you can see how much work the hamstrings are having to do. My knees are lifting up. You can always bend the knees as much as you need. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Now let's draw the shoulders back onto the back body. Hands to the waist, really leaning forward. Hug the thighs in. Exhale, relax the arms down. Hold your gaze as your right knee lifts. 3 big circles. Keep breathing as you flow. Last one. Now hands to your waist. Drop that right hip in line with the left. Draw the knee out. Maybe you just extend and spread your toes. Maybe you can extend the full leg for 3. Shoulders on the back. Lift out of that left foot. 2. Hug the hips into center. Last one. Slowly step back behind you for your warrior 1. Doesn't need to be rushed. You can again reach your arms up or palms together. 3 breaths. Wrap your right hip forward. Good. Last inhale. Ribs are pulling back. Exhale, take your hands down to those blocks. Step back carefully. Inhale. Lower smoothly over your toes. Chin to chest. Push down and walk your feet in slightly. So that same foot, right ankle is going to turn on a dime. And your toes are facing about 2 o'clock. Check in with this squared pelvis. Press out of your fingertips. Press through the inner leg. And then continue your journey. Strengthening the legs for 3. 2, notice when one arm gets a little lazy, integrate, finger pads deeper without gripping your jaw. Press that right hip back. Last one. And you're going to keep the toes spread as you step between the blocks and move into your triangle pose. So you're opening to the right side. You're going to move your right arm across the body. Press the left hip back. And exhale, roll the chest in and down. Do that again. So from the outer back foot, you're going to open up across the chest. Keep pouring your heart forward. And exhale, rolling in and down. Watch the weight on this front foot. Last one, you really want to anchor the inner arch of the foot. So the base of the big toe, the inner heel. Here you're going to stay, shoulders down your back. Again, assess. Can I roll my hip forward? Does that feel good? Or do I want to roll my hip so that my pelvis is facing the side of the room? You can maybe add that top arm for 2 breaths. Good. Last one. I like to do all sorts of neck stretches here, but you can also just keep it traditional, drawing that right ear to your armpit. Take that right hand down. You're going to slide that left foot back. Step right into your warrior 3. I want you to look at your body. Toes are pointing straight down onto fingertips. Pull your belly in, cinch the waist. And if it's there, 3 breaths, thumbs to your heart. Good. Last breath. Taking your fingertips down, you're going to press the right leg into the air. You can drop your heart. Lift the left kneecap so you're not dumping into the outer foot. Look forward, breathe in. Lift onto the toes and step your feet in between the blocks. 3 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Lift the kneecaps as you bow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Lift yourself up halfway, shoulders on your back, palms on either sides of the waist, thumbs together, rise. And exhale your hands down. Now one more exercise, just to give you a little bit more of an idea of where this flow can go. Choose to step on the block with your left foot. And I want you to notice as soon as you do that, what happens, right? Does your weight fall out? Hold your gaze and try again. Okay, now we're gonna swing that right leg. So you wanna inhale that right knee up. Exhale it out. Shoulders on your back. Lift the toes as high as you can go. And exhale, drop the leg down. Drawing the tailbone forward. You're gonna press that heel out back behind you. Draw your shoulders on your back. So you're not doing whatever, right? You're really integrating squared pelvis, inner thigh rotates in and back, shoulders on the back body. Lift that leg behind you. You're strengthening your inner thigh and your lower back. Breathe in. Drop the leg down. Pull your belly button up and draw that right knee into your chest for 3, 2, 1. Good. Step down. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat and just start to let your arms flow. So bending your knees and letting yourself move free form for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale out your mouth. So a lot of focus. Breathe in. Exhale out your mouth. Sorry, plant. Last one. Exhale. Okay. Shake it out. Big breath in. Flutter through your mouth. Let's try the other side. So right foot steps on, and I want you to notice again what happens when you step, right? Without integration, where does your weight fall? How strong and connected is your balance? Otherwise, anchor your gaze. Inhale. Tailbone down, belly back. Hands to your waist. So inhale, left knee up. Spread your toes as much as you can and extend the heel. Now you want to draw your tailbone back, lift your torso, and try not to over muscle the upper body. Spread the toes, breathe in. Good. As high as you can. Whew. Drop the outer hip, lift and extend from the inner thigh, and slowly lower the leg down behind you. Tuck your tailbone forward, start to move that inner leg back and roll it out. So you're not turning the hip to the side. Hip stays moving forward. Hold here for 3. Anchor to the inner right foot. Lift your heart 2. Keep breathing. Relax your jaw. 1. Good. Fold your knee into your chest. Lift the leg as high as it goes. Drop the shoulders. Soften the face for 3. 2. 1. Slowly stepping off of the block. Standing in Samasthiti, feet underneath your hips to just observe the flow of energy and the strength and the balance you feel from the ground up. One more breath. Hands at your heart. Namaste. So that is a little example of how we can use certain flows and stack the postures and the movements together, almost like Jenga, so that you can access and really free up ultimately different areas of your body and different parts of your practice. If you love learning like this and breaking things down, please do hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.